Now, a party political broadcast by the Liberal Democrats.
Society's failing and people are in a quandary. They're actually in turmoil. They don't really know which way to turn.
We've got a generation, indeed almost two generations now, of young people who don't know anything about politics and much less actually see you as relevant.
I think short-termism is a major problem. We've just got to get through the next 5 years. Yeah. With 2025, 50.
Unless the residents of Houses of Parliament start listening to the people and start doing something about politicking, the whole fabric of our society as we know it is going to disappear.
I think that's absolutely right.
On September the 6th, Paddy Ashdown met a small group of people. All of them are involved in health and education. None of them voted Liberal Democrat at the last general election.
Over the last 4 or 5 months, I've been going out around Britain, meeting groups of people like this, quite deliberately actually not people who are committed to our party, and listen to their views about politics, about what you think needs to be done, about your views, about how the decisions we take change your life. Once we had the best education system in the whole world. It was admired, it was copied elsewhere. And I think our youngsters of today deserve nothing less than the best education system in the world. Now, how do we make that? We've got education experts here, and I want to hear from them. Yeah.
I think if kids fail in the primary school, there's a knock-on. Let's improve the primary school education.
There's no use having money going into higher education. The children can't read to get there in the first place.
I think this is where we should be investing, but we should be nurturing them like we would seedlings. We need to make sure that they know where they're going.
I think the whole business of politics is prioritization. So you must choose some point where you're going to spend the money as a priority. We would invest £2 billion in education. Frankly, I'd hope we could raise that without asking you to pay an extra penny in tax, but given the present situation in the country, I doubt if we could do it. 900 million to provide every child in this country with access to preschool, 2 years of high-quality education. Something to put back into schools in order to try and restore some of the cuts that we've had over the last couple of years. The third chunk of that money to go into FE, into post-16, where I think is where this country fails most. And finally, to provide every adult in this country with an entitlement to take a period of upskilling, retraining or re-education at a time of their choice in their adult lives. If we think about the resources this country has, we have only one resource, and that's the skills in the heads of the people of this country. We've got no other resources available to us. I want to talk to you about the health service.
Eventually we will not have a National Health Service. It's disappearing as it is.
It appears now within the health service, if you've got two professionals, a doctor and a nurse, you need a third person to administer.
Nurses and doctors are totally undervalued.
Take the pressure off at the front line.
Let nurses do more?
Let nurses do more. The military...
Well, you could get nurses do more if you had them.
We think that there has now been far, far, far too much money going into bureaucratic systems, and we need to put that into backing our professionals and valuing those people who are doing the front end of the job.
We all know prevention is better than cure, and yet we have a service which is so saturated that it's crisis management.
Is it not dotty that what we have is not a national health service, but a national sickness service? We're not going to be able to solve it in a day, of course we're not, but teaching people how to look after their own health, concentrating on prevention, including the screening, including eye tests, including dental tests. We would stick extra tax on cigarettes and use that money to pay for free eye and dental checks again. But doing that kind of thing, the preventative approach, is not that the more sensible way to go, isn't it?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Liberal Democrats offer bright ideas, new ideas.
He's being honest and listening.
I was very encouraged by what I was hearing.
Liberal Democrats certainly seem to be there for the people and would be doing what a lot of people want, health and education.
That's the sort of politics the Liberal Democrats want. Britain needs a party that listens to people and has the courage to invest in education and protect our health service. If this is the sort of party you want, you can help us by joining too. Ring now on 0171 227 1234 or write to the Liberal Democrats, 4 Cowley Street, London SW1P 3NB.
That was a party political broadcast by the Liberal Democrats.